everybody, and welcome to our celebration of Women's History Month with featuring 31 amazing women who are making herstory. So it's not history, it's herstory. And I am so excited today to introduce you to Alexa Carlin, who is going to be our guest today, sharing about how she's making herstory. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me and doing this.
Yeah, it is my pleasure. You know, you get this, and when I share with the audience a little bit about your background, you get that we as women must come together, must cheer each other on, because we're a massive force, and the more we support each other, the more greatness we can create in the world together, right?
100%.
Yes, yes. So let me share a little bit about Alexa with all of you who haven't met her yet. Alexa Carlin is a serial entrepreneur and a nationally renowned public speaker, sharing her story and experiences authentically to audiences all over the world. She launched the Women in Power Expo in 2006, and I think I was
2016.
2016, forgive me.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one that I was at.
Yes, that was the first one.
It was huge too. So, and so since then, she grew it to become the largest event for female entrepreneurs and leaders in South Florida and also Washington, D.C. And now, within its first year, she did those two cities, and now she's growing to a third city. Where's that going to be this year?
We are going to announce soon, but it hasn't been confirmed yet, so I can't say anything yet.
I will wait with bated breath.
Thank you.
So tell our audience a little bit about what brought you to this place of creating the Women in Power Expo.
Yeah, so I am a public speaker, and I was speaking a lot to different women's organizations or groups really in South Florida where I was living at the time. And I noticed this big disconnect. So there's I always say there's kind of two things that really inspired me to start WEX. And one was seeing this disconnect among women regarding I would speak to all millennial women or women that are further on in their career or all women that are just part of the PR industry. And it was you're doing an amazing thing. Do you know this person? Do you know this person? And nobody really knew each other because everyone kind of stayed within their own niche or paid membership group. Mm-hmm. And I thought wow, there could be so much positive change that can happen if we just connected and collaborated from different backgrounds, different ages, and different industries. And so that was one of the things that really inspired WEX alongside my own journey of realizing the power of community. And it was through my own health struggles that I found an amazing online community that helped me through some of the darkest moments in my life. And I feel that community fuels empowerment. And when you feel supported and empowered, you have more confidence and courage to go and turn your ideas into reality. And so those were the two things that kind of came together and was okay, I need to do this.
Yeah. And how well you've done it. It's amazing. I mean, how many people do you have at these events?
Over 3,000 now.
Yes. They're quite big. So make sure you connect with Alexa, find out when the next event is. And here's the other thing, you attract extraordinary women. And I believe it must come from this whole spirit that you bring to it of having the courage to go for your dreams.
Thank you. Yeah, no, the women are amazing. And you just realize everyone that comes to WEX, it's more than just a networking event or more than just an event where you hear speakers. It's really this collaborative connection that's made where you see people crying and laughing and sharing these warm hugs and they just met. And we've heard amazing stories where books have been written and now published from hearing a speaker at WEX. Podcasts were created, businesses were formed, relationships were made. People, one woman invested in another woman's company to help it thrive and grow to a top co-working space in DC. So there's just so many amazing stories that we've heard from just connecting authentically at WEX.
So good. So good. So it sounds like you create this beautiful cauldron for creativity and opportunity to just come together in a beautiful way.
Thank you. Well, we do it together. I always say alone I can only do so much, but together we can make a big difference.
Our philosophies are similar.
Yes.
Which
That's
is,
why, yes.
yeah,
That's why when you emailed me, I was like, definitely, whatever you're doing, I'm in.
yeah. So that's perfect. Let's talk a little bit about, if you want to share a little bit about your story and what happened that put you on this path and leading into, you know, many of us have dreams and goals and desires, and defeat can happen and disappointment. So how do we keep the courage going to have the confidence to, I mean, made a bold move in creating this.
Yeah, everyone always says like, Alexa, weren't you afraid of booking some of the largest convention centers in the country? And I'm like, yes, of course I was afraid, but I fear regret more than I fear failure.
Mm.
And that comes from experiences and realizing like we only do have this time that we're given, and we can make the most of it, or we can harp on the past or harp on our obstacles. And it really is a shift in perspective to start creating that change you want to see in your life. And that, like, I've always been a positive thinker. I've always been very passionate. Started my first business when I was 17 years old, but it was a near-death experience when I was 21, right before I was graduating college, that did change my entire life. My body went into septic shock. I was induced into a medical coma, given a 1% chance of living. And it came out of nowhere. And it's these things that like we can plan and plan and plan, but when life, throws these curveballs your way, you have to like, that's what helps you discover that inner strength and helps you discover your fullest potential. And I really do believe that it's the darkest moments in our life that create the miracles in our future. And while this near-death experience, it's in my past, what it brought on was an autoimmune disease. And so that's a chronic illness. I live with it day in and day out. And I would say that's been the hardest, and still to this day, the hardest thing I deal with. Like even this morning, like I started work like 3 hours later than I wanted because I didn't feel well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing I can plan. And I work out, I eat healthy, but I'm like, I have medicine, I have doctors that help save my life. But at the end of the day, there's only so many things you can control. And so it was me finding that strength in my mindset to redirect my thoughts towards the things I do have control over. Because I spent many years from 2014 when I got diagnosed with the autoimmune disease until really 2016, like waiting for something to change. And
Mm.
it was like, I realized, this is something I'm going to live with for the rest of my life. And you can't wait for your life to change. You have to change your own life.
Wow.
And so with that, it kind of helped me redirect. And you have to really be consciously aware of the thoughts you're thinking, because when you're focusing on things you can't control, like the past or the future or someone else's opinion, or if a business will fail, will it not fail? Like, those things that are, you
Mhm.
can't do anything about. So not only are you creating that negative thought process that's going to deplete your energy and make you doubt yourself and all those other things, but you're also taking away energy from the things that will help you move the needle forward. I always say, like, when I share this in different speeches as a speaker, when you're going into a job interview and you're interviewing for your dream job, most people are focusing on like, am I going to get the job? I hope they like me. I hope they choose me. And right away, like, you can't control the interviewer's opinion of you. Like, you can't, but you can control how much you prepare for the interview, how much research you do about the company, how you dress, how confident you walk in, right? So if you can do that with everything in your life and like redirect that focus, regardless of the challenges you're going through, you're going to be able to become successful and enjoy the process along the way.
Because otherwise you dread the process along the way, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I could easily focus on challenges and obstacles and just so many things that are going on in my personal life. But what does that do? Like, that doesn't help anything.
Well, and I love what you said about focusing on the challenges. You're actually taking energy and time away of what you could be accomplishing. So let's say for today, for example, you talked about I got up I started working 3 hours later because I wasn't feeling well. Well, so what? I could lament that and be upset about that and spend energy there. Or I was like, all right, I'm feeling better now. I'm just going to do this bit. I'm just going to do this next bit to consistently move that needle forward.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, like, I share my story so vulnerably because I want women to understand, like, your life doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have everything figured out in order to start pursuing what you love and pursuing your dreams. Like, you will be inspiring, you will make a difference, and you'll be able to achieve a certain level of success through what you're going through. And like, I posted this on my Instagram yesterday, and it got like 1,000 plus likes on it, like one of my best performing Instagram. And it was literally just this, like, it said, it was one of my things I tweeted, and it said, like, coaches will say, millionaires wake up at 5 a.m., right? We've all heard that before, right? Millionaires wake up at 5 a.m. And then I'm like, when I see that, and I'm like, well, guess what? Non-millionaires also wake up at 5 a.m. and millionaires also wake up at 6, 7, 10 a.m. And it's just like, learn from others, and then start creating your own strategy based on what feels right to you. That's what I do. I mean, like, I listen to inspiring people. I teach what has worked for me. But at the end of the day, I hope people take little things from what they hear and what resonates, put it into action, and then develop their own plan and strategy, and realize, like, there is not one right path to get to where you want to be. And if the first step doesn't work out, like, there's a million other ways to achieve success.
As long as we just keep going and listening and learning. And so share with us, Women's History Month. Who is a woman who has been an inspiration or made an impact to you on your journey?
There's been so many, but I would say, like, one person who doesn't know I exist is Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx. That's why I say you can find mentors anywhere. They don't have to know that they're actually a mentor to you. But I love her because of how authentic she is. If you ever follow her on, like, Instagram, she just, like, shows who she is, what she's doing, yet she's this, like, the youngest self-made billionaire, still owns like 100% of her company, like, built this whole thing. And she even says, like, how when Oprah went to go film her, they said, we want to film at your headquarters. Her headquarters were her apartment. That's, like, the same for me, So there's just a lot that is, like, it's awesome to see what she built. And then aside from that, I've had other mentors that were bosses I had through internships. And it really was any woman that has helped me feel empowered in who I am and showed that they believed in my biggest, craziest dreams while also pursuing their own goals and dreams.
Right. Really, that's collaboration. That's supporting each other. That's what women really do for each other. And that's what this series is all about. So each and every one of us, I know, is making history with everything we do, every action we take, every life we touch. Whether you're Sarah Blakely, whether you're Alexa Carlin or Nancy Matthews, or my next door neighbor who goes to work every day as a single mom, picks up her kid, and they have the most amazing evening together. It's all matters, right? So
It does. That's the thing. It's not about what you like, what title you have, or necessarily what you do. It's how you feel in that. It's like, my goals, when people say, what are your goals? Like, my goals aren't necessarily like make X number of dollars, like do this. Like, of course, like, you have to have certain strategic goals in whatever career, but in the big scheme of things, like, my goal is a feeling, and that feeling is a sense of freedom, a sense of health, a sense of joy, right? Like, joy is different than happiness. Happiness is a fleeting moment. I feel happy, I feel sad, but joy is like this, it's this sustainable feeling in a sense. So that's what I think everyone should be trying to work towards. Like, what it gets you excited in the morning, what gets you to feel that sense of joy, that sense of freedom, and go all in on that. It doesn't matter if it's your own business, if you're working for someone, if you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is, like, tune into who you are and own that.
So good. So good. All right. Thank you for being with us today. And I know you have a gift to offer our guests, so just let them know a little bit about what that is, and then you can click on the link that's right below on the page to go ahead and get it. So what's the gift that you have for everybody?
Yes, definitely. So I said like how the reason why I share my story vulnerably and authentically is because I truly believe that people can make a difference by sharing their authentic stories.
Mhm.
And I want to see more, definitely women on stages doing what they love, sharing their message, and at the same time creating that extra income for themselves and growing their business. So, as a public speaker, I have learned so much in the past 4 years, and I've really crafted like how to create a winning pitch to help you get booked as a speaker. So I created a free video training for you guys to watch, and it goes over everything I've learned, not just as a speaker, but also as a conference organizer that goes through 500 speaker applications per event, what really stands out, how to make your pitch better, and really to
That's
tell
right.
your story and make you shine in those few sentences.
So good. That is worth lots and lots of money. So make sure you click on the link below, and thank you for providing such a value packed gift. As we're, at Women's Prosperity Network, we're on a mission to bring more and more women together. So we're stepping up more, sharing our stories, sharing our voices, and making that impact. So what a perfect alignment today's interview was. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I love what you're doing and your community, and big support.
Yep. Thank you so much for that. And for all of our viewers out there, be sure you go ahead and get the gift from Alexa, and also click on the link to join the movement. We are bringing together thousands and thousands of women who are stepping up, all claiming and making herstory together as we create a more loving, more joyous, I love that description of joy, more joyous and beautiful life for every single one of us. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And be sure to check your inbox for the next in this Women Making Herstory series. Bye-bye now. Bye, Alexa.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.